OG, you never know. Maybe if mid one had more farm, they would have lost. Because it ended up with Saksa making play after play with all the gold he had, getting the dagger, right? Like, they just play with what they have. It's always really fun to watch how they pull stuff like this off.
I do wanna quickly touch on some of the points from that previous game from OG sides, because we did see their Spirit middle, and we've talked about it a little bit before yesterday when we were expecting maybe a mid Earth Spirit coming up from a different team, but it didn't really work out. Is that just because of the matchup with Kunkka is difficult? We talked about the mid lane beforehand, Topson versus Limp, two very different mid laners as well, but Limp crushed it.
Yeah, it's an unfavorable matchup, first off. Kunkka wins against most melee heroes. You get free harassment in basically any time you want with the Tidebringer. And on top of that, I think Limp also had an element of outplay in that lane, which, like FNG said in the pre-match interview, that's kind of what he's expecting. He's obviously also playing with Alliance, right? So gotta be, build up his boy and have confidence. But it wasn't really too surprising that Kunkka won the lane, but I think Limp won it maybe by a bit more than he should have. Got a solo kill, I think, Purge, right?
Yeah,
as well. I think so.
And then how about the mid one Tusk on the off lane? I was curious about that one too, because that's also something that we don't normally see out of other teams.
I think it works fine if Maledict isn't there, because with tag team you have the capabilities of overpowering one hero pretty easily, and he should have been able to do that without losing so much health himself. Like, imagine if Witch Doctor just had a stun instead. It's like, okay, yeah, Tusk would take half HP, but he wouldn't go down. He wouldn't take like 3/4 instead on a trade. Maledict just accelerates the damage so much that it like forces you to have to play more passively, and then you can't use your offensive tools as much.
Well, we'll see if OG believes in it again and enough to go for them for a second game around, because we are in the draft for the second game, powered by Betway. The band's already almost done, and
Earthshaker ban.
Earthshaker banned.
Witch Doctor.
This is your chance, Purge.
Yes.
Not gonna tell you who I picked for most picked hero. Glad.
Is that a Beastmaster ban,
Wait,
by
who
the
did
way?
you pick for most picked
Idiots.
hero?
10 seconds remaining.
I picked
5 seconds remaining.
It's very much a team like hero.
I think so. Wasn't that what I picked? It must be.
I'm doing a high five with Cinderin.
Wait, which way is my camera facing?
It should
Is
be
this
reversed.
right?
Please.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I did it right. We just made a sin sandwich.
God. Oh, well,
Tried to do it the wrong way on purpose, but I messed it up. I just want you guys.
I didn't know what I was doing, but we'll pretend I did.
It could have been amazing. You guys ruined it all.
If I went the wrong way, also, yeah. That's high five skills.
So IO again.
Hey!
There you go. Just needed to be picked in an optional third game and another 2 games today that don't exist, and we can do Rage Fever.
Yeah, yay.
Really good for you guys. At least you got one on the board.
Yeah. Now I feel a little less stupid.
Have there been any Beastmaster picks at all today?
No, there's been more Grimstream picks than Beastmaster picks now, so I'm safe.
Okay. Alright, so I was right. Alright, cool.
Alright, wait, so we got the Grimstroke and the Earth Spirit. This time Earth Spirit, of course, on Alliance's side, and the IO again on the side of OG, this time combined with the Pangolier. That's opening.
Yes, the Pango makes it through. Not something that we see very often against Topson. I've seen it a lot in the 4th ban of the first phase, basically. Like they're like, all right, we'll remove. Don't let Pango through.
I mean, arguably, it's also being picked into 2 decently good heroes against it, right? You have an instant silence with a fast Earth Spirit player, and you have Soulbind, which can really mess up the Rolling Thunder. But OG just don't care. It seems they have a strategy that they've prepared, and they're gonna bring it. And they've got to be feeling it after game 1, right? You got to be. Like, if you have that bad conditions and you suddenly just pull off a win, it's such a morale boost. Like, maybe they're not super happy because the game was harder than maybe they expected, but they pulled off a really difficult win. Yep. You just got to keep rolling with that belief.
Good pun there. Rolling with that belief.
Oh,
well,
yeah, true.
And also, we heard No-Tail talk about this. Believing is seeing, and seeing is believing. We definitely saw, and therefore believe, that anything is possible here for OG.
And I would say that Pango is a much more perfect fit for him. Like, they have slightly similar playstyles in that they're both very mobile. They can be annoying, make stuff happen, teamfight. But Pango's just easier to do that with because you just turn your ulti on and you're already doing tons of damage and teamfight disruption. Not to mention better poke, I guess. So A little different, less survivable, I guess, but I have a lot of faith that Thompson's going to lane a little bit more successfully and also be a little bit more surgical in his ability to gank side lanes.
And there's the Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight, yeah. So they banned out the Batrider. We saw that in the Enigma versus Secret Series Game 3, how Batrider just dismantles this hero in the game. There were multiple moments where Dragon Knight just got run over, and Alliance aren't having any of that. Now the question is what OG has as a solution to this. Okay, they once again don't care what the enemy team picked, and they will grab Ricky, who is not particularly good against Dragon Knight, I would say. He's a high armor hero, he's tanky, he has a pretty quick stun. OG just want to do their things. They want to play quick, they want to make moves, take initiative, and I guess something to be said about Ricky here is it's a decent setup for relocate with the smoke screen, and getting on top of Earth Spirit will be pretty easy with this guy.
Another Pangolier counter.
Yeah.
Ooh, not looking fun for Thompson here.
And they get the double rupture with Soulbind, so very nice.
That's a really good point.
Double Dragon Tail.
Stun. It's like the first time that we've seen Grimstroke picked in the last 2 days, where they actually are drafting around his ultimate. Yeah, every other day they're like, oh, we just like Grimstroke, but now he looks even more formidable.
I think yesterday it was FNG playing Grim, and he didn't have his ulti skilled on level 11. I don't think that's going to happen this game.
Definitely
this game
not.
You're getting Soulbind for sure.
But if you're soulbound, you're not able to move very fast at all, so why would we rupture him? I guess rupture lasts way longer
Technically,
than the soulbind.
I mean, you can move at full speed. You just have to run in the same direction as your ally. But, you could let's say Rupture 2 here is Boulder Smash. They have a lot of cool options. And it's just nice to have the Rupture there, frankly, even if you're not expecting them to run. Because then they just can't run.
Even if they don't move, then they take a 2-hero Blood Right, and that's also terrible.
True.
Like, usually that's kind of the way Bloodseeker works, right? You rupture someone and you Blood Right, and then they have to pick their poison. But if you get 2 key heroes silenced for multiple seconds based on level of Blood Right, you might want to take the rupture damage instead, to be honest.
Yep.
So
the Ursa pick is pretty solid in some ways.
Such an OG draft, man.
It really is. Just
it's
ultra
run at you.
Right?
We're gonna run at you, and we're gonna fight you.
They have some potential lane matchup advantages like Dragon Knight or Bloodseeker, even though DK's pretty tanky, he's going to be a little annoyed by this. And I like the thought of a Ursa being in the mid or late game with an Abyssal Blade. Those supports can't super easily defend themselves, especially Grimstroke. He's going to be entirely reliant on his items. So, and one nice thing about having this many dive heroes for OG is that it creates disruption, which is basically their calling card, that they run in and do crazy stuff. And if that's the case, it's so much harder for Alliance to actually combo their abilities. They can't just instantly use Grim ulti and Rupture 2 heroes and stun 2 heroes. It's like someone's getting dived by Ursa on one side of the fight, and on the other side of the fight, Ricky's jumping on a different guy. It's like the chaos comes, and they use their superior skill to ideally win those fights and pull games out. And that's what we saw last game.
I wonder what they're gonna get to bring it all together, right? There's like no setup right now for OG. There's not a single stun. There's no tower damage. There's no Roshan killer. Oh, not true. They have Ursa, so at least they have a Roshan killer. But usually, a lot of the boxes we look to have ticked by a lot of the top teams are just not filled out for me for OG here. It's way more. It's kind of reminiscent of the caveman Dota that they lost to. Was it at TI6 when they played against MVP Phoenix? Yep. And MVP just ran this like PA Darkseer and just ran at enemies nonstop. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised to see OG pull out a Darkseer or something, you know, and just go full on run at them. But it does feel like
Darkseer support.
Yeah,
support, I guess.
Pango support could be a possibility. It's just it would look super weird, right? I feel like you do want to stun. Maybe Legion Commander, because it's good with IO. You could get like Sand King as a reliable cooldown stun.
Check out how close these odds are, despite OG being up 1 game.
Yeah.
Like in all the other matches, when one team had an advantage, it was like 1-4. But
yeah,
the algorithms do not understand OG, I think, is what we're looking at here. They're like, there's no way.
They felt like that last game was not convincing. Which is funny because they won in like 2 minutes, but it really wasn't convincing, right? Like you're sitting with that feeling of, should they really have won? They're gonna get the Wind Ranger again,
okay.
So that will be a stun and a catch set up for relocate. But a little more situational. There's a lot of spots on the map that Wind Ranger is not so good at.
Excuse. Oh.
This is a professional stream. Okay, cool.
But it is very good to stretch a bit before you know you're gonna sit down for an hour. Guys, you know you're gonna sit down for an hour watching this game. Maybe stretching a little bit, following NoTail's example, you know. It's good.
Cheever, why didn't you tell me this 4 hours ago? I would have stood up at least.
Ooh.
Should have put
That's
the
good.
Kit Kats further away
Toxic
from
hero. Purge, you know everything about toxicity. Tell me about it.
Veno is very good at slowing people down and limiting their capabilities of running at you, and that's exactly what OG's lineup does. The downside is that once they do get on top of you, you are just instantly dead, and you pop like a ripe grapefruit and shoot your poison everywhere, and hopefully that does enough to change the fight. Gale is also going to be really effective, but they have some solutions against some of these problems, but I like the idea. It's going to be a nice hero that potentially gets tanky and makes it harder for them to continuously die.
Dude, offlane Ricky. I love it. I love it. I'm excited for this game. It's going to be fun one way or the other.
Yeah.
If this wasn't OG playing this Radiant draft, I wouldn't really feel too confident in it. It looks very wonky to me, but they have proven themselves so many times that I'm ready to see it shine. I still will pick Alliance to win this game, though. Just like I don't regret picking them in game one. I like their strategy. To me, this is more of a mental thing now. Can they not overthink and overcomplicate things and just play well? That's what they got.
I guess that's why I don't have confidence in them in this case. I see all the run at you heroes, and Veno's I think on paper very good, but in lane he has terrible base damage. He really isn't a good laner until he's like 4-2 basically, and even then I just worry that
我是一个没有感情的刷钱机
play
器
hindsight。and say the last team that won's gonna win. I think OG's gonna win.
Thank you, Chief. We really did have an excellent game one, and folks, we've got to see some more OG Dota in true OG fashion here in this game too, by the looks of this draft. I mean, do you want to have a go at trying to explain what we're going to see from them here with these heroes?
Because I believe he's muted to me.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna
Just
keep
say something
smiling and just
smart, folks. You
looking.
know? It was the standard stuff, you know, me asking you about the draft. Basically, I want you to explain what OG's going to do here.
Your thoughts as good as mine. They're just gonna run. They're playing with what? Their only cooldown is gonna be really Rolling Thunder. This is just gonna be constant run at you. I think the biggest thing is really does Alliance let that last game get into their head? Because I do like their draft. I haven't seen Ursa versus Veno since all of these changes has happened. But I know in the past Veno used to just win majority of the games versus it, but now Ursa has easier ways to gap close because Ursa kind of pushes you a little bit. So, and you don't go for the Blink Dagger build really almost at all anymore. Maybe things are different in that case, and it's still a very OG style draft. They're gonna look to just run at you.
Oh, they are. Oh, they are. And Sax is going to have to hit the shackles. I mean, he did last game, so there's every reason to believe that he will, because as the panel said, they don't have the stuns. They don't have the catch. So everything pretty much relying on Sax to be the lead-in. Already we see OG very deep in enemy territory.
Scouting S4.
Uh-oh. I don't know if S4 is he gonna. He's got the tower here, so I don't think OG's gonna want to dive that.
No, look how much damage he takes.
Yeah.
2 hits. 3
No, not the
damage.
time to dive tier 2s.
Nico Baby walks up, blood right down. Be able to grab himself the rune. They get the silence connected to onto mid one. Ink Swell, can he get in range? He can.
Oh.
He's gonna jump over though.
Nice jump. Tricks. And so looking at this lane setup, as the panel said, there's some lanes where OG actually have decent matchups, right? I mean, have they got those matchups with these lanes?
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, their heroes are just weird. It's just like Ricky's running to the off lane, it's bizarre for sure. I'm not too sure like what they're going to be able to accomplish. At top, they don't have the same style of aggression like they did last game where they had the Tusk with the Wind Ranger, which allowed Sox to actually have such an explosive game. I don't think they're going to be able to really set up any kills onto this Bloodseeker. Nico Baby should just free farm. Yeah, I don't know. Their lanes don't look that great.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we could probably expect, though, this time around having Topson on the mid Pango rather than the mid Spirit, do you think it's going to be easier for Topson to have a better game early on this time?
Yeah, I mean, he's not versus the Kunkka. He's versus a DK who's more of just like a passive style farming hero rather than like a lane dominator. So Topson should be able to get a decent amount out of this and not get killed. That's the biggest thing. Like last time he got solo killed by Limp, so.
And with those passive procs of the Lucky Shot can certainly mess with some of the CS of Limp. Good job of harassing here, coming in with the Swashbuckle. Won't be able to kill him, but really pushing the heroes to his limits. How we see on regen, he's got a couple of tangos, and Limp also about the same situation when it comes down to the regen. Bottom lane, I mean, Sumail, he's going to be able to farm here, but it's quite hard for him to get a kill in this lane, even with No-Tail's backup, right? Both S4 and Hansken having ways to keep the Ursa off his target.
Yeah, S4 he's got like, what, 1 last hit, 2 last hits? Okay, he just got his 3rd. He was actually missing quite a lot until that point, and they did get a successful side pull on bottom too, so this bottom lane is definitely the one that OG's gonna look to have the most. Yeah, they're gonna have the most positive out of.
We'll try and jump in onto S4, but a quick gale is always going to stop Sumail from actually being able to get kills early on.
Yep, and something we will have to point out too, because like I was mentioning how the Ursa has changed, the Venomancer has also changed in these recent patches where HP regen reduction, especially versus an IO, can be pretty significant. Got the Gale, trying to hit both. He will connect. No-Tail. Might be in some trouble this time.
To try to, I mean, Sumail's doing a good job of pushing them away, and S4 balls low. Sumail did try and dive the tower for that. He's taken a couple of hits, and that'll kill him. S4 able to bait them right underneath the tower. Was 1 hit away from dying, ends up turning it around and getting Sumail killed.
They have to be careful how much they do those type of moves as well down bottom, because when they do get low, that just means the top becomes impossible for the OG side, because this, I mean, the Bloodseeker's just going to get his thirst stacks built up because of that, and then he can actually just trade right clicks much easier with the 2 of them. So they have to watch out how much they want to be aggressive on the IO Ursa, if it's worth it to sacrifice that top lane.
You can see on the odds there after the first game. Still, you know, they do favor OG. I mean, understandably, they did win game 1, but it's just hard to see the draft and then straight up say, all right, OG's got this, because of how different they play the game compared to all the other hit teams really here at LAN. Well, not LAN, but here at this tournament.
Yeah, top. Trying to get aggressive. FNG, Shackle will connect.
It's there. They've got the damage. They'll get themselves the kill on FNG. Nico Baby is going to charge forward onto Saxa. Saxa still got a win run. He's able to stay alive. He's even salving up and turning around. Nico Baby's got the stick charges. Bloodbright is laid down, and that will stop them from going for him. But OG doing a good hold of this top lane here. As mid one, he's sure not farming quite as much as Nico Baby, but he's close. Baby, he's jumping in. The Shackle, it's there. They've still got the Tricks the Trade. Nico Baby's going to pop the Bloodbright. Tricks the Trade's there. They're going to get the kill. This support win range, again, we saw it last game. Saxa, he's just setting up so much straight from the off as this Wind Ranger. It's just doing things that no other hero would actually be able to do.
Limp, mid lane, Haste Rune. I said he might not kill Thompson this game, but Thompson's actually going to be okay backing up to the tower. Does push him away though, and he's almost doubling him up on those last hits now. You look at the net worth as well, and yeah, 800 more on Limp. Still quite a big discrepancy on that one.
Yeah, Thompson's gonna have to make up for that with his moves once he hits the 6. And so he gets his first time out. I mean, as it is, Thompson is having to spend a lot of money as well on consumables. Will certainly be quite a bit behind that DK of Limp. Bottom lane, farm for Sumail continues to look very strong after that bit of a dive and a slip up, though S4 is closing the gap.
Yep, I like how they're buddying up. Nice denies there by OG bottom. They had a triple range creep pushing into the tower there, and they actually got several denies. But now Sumail getting slowed up. That's the increased movement speed from that tether.
They should be able to get him here, unless they've got I mean, No-Tail salving. The salving through the tether is keeping Sumail up. That's enough. Smart moves from No-Tail. Keeping his bear healed up, and there finally it happens in the mid lane. Limp will manage to get that solo kill. Hits the 6, runs him down. Bit of a repeat situation as we saw last game where Limp, he's just getting the upper hand against Thompson every time.
I mean, Limp, honestly, like, everybody's always held Limp to a very high regard. In particular, this guy dominates in like pubs. Like, every time he's super dominant. I'm super glad to see lately that he's really been transferring into his competitive games. He's really been owning the lanes.
On the side lane.
Kills?
I see. I mean, this is going to happen. If OG do try and commit for a kill with Sumail, they'll probably get it, but with all the poison and the slow and the kiting potential, he's almost certainly going to die each time he commits. Before he hits the 6, and he has that extra protection. On top, Saxa. Another setup with the Shackle. FNG's moving forward with the Ink Swell. They'll be able to dodge it with the tricks of the trade. It's another Shackle shot. Sets up glory for the two of them.
And mid one's free farming up there. 3-0 with 32 last hits versus the 31 of the Bloodseeker. I thought the Bloodseeker, with that thirst, because he's getting so much pressure bottom, he'd be able to do a better time, but or have a better time. But no, I mean, these two, they have some synergy between them, some special synergy.
It really is just the threat of Saxa's Wind Ranger that's keeping Alliance that a little scared onto the top lane as they need to be. This just
bottom
3 times they've got these kills. Sumail's game is definitely getting harder and harder. He has drawn the sort of short straw in terms of lane matchups. They will slow him and punish him, and it's just a bit of fortune that for him that mid one is having such a good time top, because they're going to need someone to carry. And with the beginning that mid one's had in this lane, he's certainly set up to do so this game. He can pick up the slack for Sumail this time round.
Most definitely. Noto staying low bottom actually allows Nico Baby to get the increased movement speed, and he actually avoids a death potentially top. And yeah, Sumail is playing Ursa and having to play like recovery when you're versus a lot of counters is going to be very difficult. Like Venomancer, I mentioned I hadn't seen the Ursa versus the Veno a long time, but it used to be one of those, you're playing Ursa versus Veno, you probably just lose the game. We'll see if he's is able to, like you said. Thompson struggling again this time around as Limp going aggressive on him immediately. But there's rotations, the Rolling Thunder's out.
And they've caught him as well in the river. There's the bounce out, and with the 4 of them on top of him, the Rolling Thunder could have been in any better of a position. In the river, no way for Limp to break his way out of that. OG get the kill. Getting Sumail involved as well, giving him a nice little bit of a boost as he can push in, get some solo XP from this mid lane. Straight away, OG return to the top. Mid one and Saxa immediately ready to try and punish Nico Baby once more. Pings are made. He's able to get out, puts the blood right down. Saxa tries to catch him on the range creep. Won't get the angle this time round as Nico Baby will be fine.
See where Limp decides to go with his next movement. He's just going to return back to mid. No Dragon Form for 70. But it's going to allow Hanskin now to move around the map, probably to react toward top. S4 almost has the Necro book, so he's going to, I mean, bottom is his home. He's going to take over this entire lane, and he should have his TP available to help top. They do dive.
He's just diving this. He's running in. I mean, it's pushing Nico Baby and FNG away from this top lane. And he's still, with the rough start he has had, it's not that far behind at all. He's still being able to keep up in farm. You look at the comparison between him and Nico Baby's Bloodseeker, and it's only a couple of hundred.
Yeah, that's definitely surprising. Trying to get some tower damage here. Definitely has to be careful. Only level 5 on the air, so level 6 on the IO. So you can relocate him. Yep.
They moved in onto S4. S4 gets the ult out, but he instantly just gets burst. The combo between these two, just having that long disable of the Shackle shot, it gives great amount of time for mid-one to get a fair few hits from the backside in.
Top, the dive. Nico Baby's here, he's 6.
Yeah, hand scared. Sumail is 6 as well. Pops the ult. Thompson's turned up. Comes in with the swashbuckle. Rolling Thunder good to go. But he has been ruptured. He's going to try for the TP out, but the rupture's too much. He ends up rolling to his own death. Sumail will find FNG. Tries to jump out to the side. He's got a TP available. He'll get away before there's any sort of stun. Limp tries to catch him with the Dragon Tail, popping the out of Dragon Form, but it wasn't quite soon enough.
Won't lose any time though as he goes straight to mid. There's actually a sentry down too, so he's gonna get a decent amount of damage here onto mid one, and he will be able to turn it into a tower. But they're moving. They know there's a fresh Dragon Form.
They're gonna try and run at him. They are. Mid one jumps forward.
Far.
TP was ready to come in as well from FNG if required, but he holds back. There's no threat. OG won't dive quite yet. Coming up to 11 minutes, 8 to 6, only 1k in it. A very close start this time round.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
OG, they're certainly making a drive work that, again, looks to have flaws, but so far they're not being shown. As even with the rough lane that Sumail did have, as we say, his game is still in a good place. He's top 3 net worth. Here comes the relocate. Shackle onto S4, stopping him from being able to get anything out. They jump in, the blood rides down. The S4 can Alliance turn this one round. Nico Baby charges forward. He gets no tail. They're all falling low. Nico Baby could be in track for a great cleanup job here. Sumail falls as well. He's found the double. He's not got the detection on mid one, so mid one will live. But this is what Alliance need to be coming in with. Anytime OG runs at someone as they are, they need to respond with these mass TPs. And Nico, baby, he is strong enough. As a Bloodseeker with a maxed out Thirst, he's in great position to go for these sort of cleanups in these skirmishes.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about, like, of course, the Bloodseeker versus that Pango, but he actually has great synergy with his team. That Magnetize, pulsing people low, same thing with the Venomancer ult. His Thirst is going to be utilized at its maximum.
Down bottom. Hanskin sticking around a little too long as Sax is in to cut him up. Also, Ricky able to find the deny on the tower. Mid-one's able to take away some potential gold from Alliance. Whilst that was happening, Limp wasn't actually able to get much damage at all done to that tier 1 in the mid. But the Elder Dragonborn's back up. He's also got an Arcane Rune, so that extra efficiency on the cooldown. He'll pop it immediately and start getting to work on that tier 1 tower. But Saxtra and Mid-one are moving over. Also Thompson, ready with the Rolling Thunder. Good to go again.
They've been very quick to make the moves. As soon as they see Limp use that dragon form, they want to bring the battle to him. They don't want him to freely poke those towers. And Thompson even continuing to stalk him here. Ricky in the area.
Gonna try and have a poke at him. Yeah, there you go. Is there going to be any backup for Limp in time? Alliance are trying to move over, but I don't know if they can get it quick enough. The extra damage for the power shot helps get the kill. Roll forward from Hanskin, but he's gone into the 3 of them. S4 starts to push away Thompson, who is out of mana. They've lost Hanskin, though. It's 2 kills for OG. Thompson will fall in return. But again, it's OG getting away with this aggression. They come in and each time they're taking the advantage. They're killing off this DK. It's another time where the Elder Dragon form didn't allow Limp to get that much damage at all done. They're just playing so aggressive and leaving, you know, any sort of opportunity there is for a fight, OG's taking it.
They're playing so aggressive and just so aware of that. I mean, so aware of that DK form. Just don't let him get any advantage out of it. And Sumail, you see the build that he took note. He saw what Matu was doing. He's like, all right, that looks pretty good. I like the Battle Fury. He's doing it himself too.
I mean, it certainly worked this morning, or earlier this afternoon. Matu had great success with this build. And I think it especially works because you do have this kind of weird draft where you have an Ursa and a Ricky, right? Like, Sumail can fall into this Battle Fury farming role. Mid-one's still, of course, going to go for that Diffusal Blade rush, and he's going to be able to fight and have that sort of peak at a time that comes at a different point of the game to the Ursa. So OG have something to ride on throughout the different points of the game. Alliance. Limp's going for that Blink Dagger. Very close to having it done. How's the farm for Nico Baby looking? Maelstrom into Yasha by the looks of it, to speed up his own farm.
Yep, kind of a standard one. I do think Alliance they should play a little bit more of like this handhold thing. As we've seen the last few moments, OG is really trying to utilize their relocates and just outnumber as much as possible. So Alliance, they have to read this play before it happens now. They have to be set up and play around their vision and just see whenever Thompson's going to set up on somewhere, whenever they see a shackle shot maybe going to set up somewhere, be prepared for those TPs. Be prepared for that relocate. So we do see Hanskin, he's playing that buddy system right now. I do like how they're doing this. He's set up down bottom around Nico Baby. S4 is in a safe position up top too. They are starting to do that now. They are starting to be aware of that relocate dive.
They might dive top, yeah. S4, this tower is low.
All the TPs are available for Alliance.
Yeah, we'll see how hard they want to push this.
It's very difficult to. Level 3 wards. He's got the Necro Book too.
Sax is also on his way up.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like Thompson, he's pulling away from this, wants to resume farming. Item-wise, yeah, just going for the aura build, getting that mech done. So we can have that extra bit of power to heal up these squishier cores such as mid-one.
Yeah, he's just going full utility. Relying on his 2 side lanes, which are the agi carries. He's just going to be the ganker.
Over to the mid they go. This time Alliance getting a lot of damage done to this tier 1.
Yeah, they're doing it properly now. Instead of just like Limp walking up and poking, they have all these people behind him ready at the wait. They have the jump forward here. They're going to try.
I've got the detection. Silence as well onto mid-one. The shackle will be able to stop the damage from Limp though. He tries for a very bold TP though, mid-one. Mid-one TP's out in the midst of it all. Does still manage to escape with the extra jump over towards the mid lane. So mid-one, Magnetize will hurt, but it shouldn't be quite enough to kill him. It will keep him low. He's going to be able to walk back to base, but they don't manage to quite finish off the Ricky, as mid one will survive. Space continues to be there for Topson up top. Sumail has the progress looking on the Battle Fury. He's got it done. The money is there for the Battle Fury to be complete. So all in all, for Sumail, who had this lane where he died like 3 times, it's a very fast...
All the lines is here already.
Whoa. I mean, that relocate, that weren't great. That was not a great relocate, unless Sumail can pull off some sort of miracle here. He's going to go for the TP out, and he's going to live. He will get out of there, but, I mean, you were saying that in the last game out, it doesn't feel great to take your carry into a situation that's been nearly... And that nearly got him killed. I don't know if Sumail would have been too happy with that relocate.
That was such an aggressive one. It was on the tier 2. Like, they had the outpost there, so they had some people that could TP in, but it's not like Topson was revving up his Rolling Thunder or anything at the time. No, they just went in. Relocate. That was, I
mean, Sumail's like, dude, just let me bomb a battlefield. I mean, he did have the courier out, so even if he did go down. He's got the 1 charges. I'm going to save him, though. Kills there, and mid one, with that in mind, he's just a robe of the Magi away from having the Diffusal Blade. These items are coming out for OG. Limp has got the Blink and the Ogre Club ready for some sort of a catch, if he can find it, but OG's got good wall coverage here. The Sentry and the Ops down as well as the smoke. OG's stepping forward. There's the jump though. The Sentry's out. They've found mid one. If they've got anything to protect him, they haven't. Mid one will fall. Limp's able to get the kill. They try and turn to chase down Saxa, but Saxa's already run into the trees. Power shots to clear an unsuspecting route, and going with that TP will make it away in a position where Alliance wouldn't have expected to find him.
Ooh, Gale off the mark for S4. If he did connect it on that initial win run, they probably would have been able to chase forward for the kill, but made it.
Limp. He's found notes out. Sumail's already out of it. I think, you know, Sumail's probably getting the point. It's like, I'm not going on any more of these adventures with you, Johan. He's done. They ended a bit of a disaster. They've managed to cancel the TP. They've got the Rupture as well. And that's a dead bear. It will be, very surely. He buys a bit of time with the ult, but Sumail's gone. I think with that battlefield, you know, Sumail, he's got to start saying, he's like, dude, I just want to hit creeps. You got to stop taking me on these wild rides.
That was also, yeah, that one was very deep, and great heads up play there by Hanskin. Having that max rolling boulder, he knows he can continue to chase to catch Sumail after they do get that IO. Good awareness there by him. The rest of OG, they're still all set up around top, trying to get these Shackle into Ricky kills, as the Ricky, like you said, almost having Diffusal. S4.
Oh, and found him. The Swashbuckle doesn't hit, neither does the Shackle Shot, allowing S4 to get the ult off, but Topson's in, rolling away, smashing him through the Ghost Scepter, and S4 goes down. They've also got a bit of control onto Limp. There's the Ink Swell, they've got to jump away, but the Soulbind does connect the two of them. Doesn't matter though, they're far enough away, there's no follow-up, and Limp's held back by a Shackle. As OG get the kill and they get out.
And they're pinging down bottom. They want to try to reclaim the outpost down here. OG needs to be able to get themselves one in the next 20 seconds so they can get the
Rupture's up. Yuka baby, going for the Rupture on to Topson. Saxa seeing if he can help out. Topson pulling level with the Essence Ring. Hey, he's still got a mech available to pop. He's a very tanky hero.
They're trying to race toward that outpost. They should be able to get it in time here.
Already struggling to kill Topson, and Topson, he's just about to have the Gravestone. Into the river they go, they found Hansken, it's another connection from Saxa. Blood right down, trying to give the space for Hansken to get out, and it will work. He's able to get up to the high ground with the rolling boulder.
Mid lane, Limp's gonna find himself a freebie.
And this time, you know, fortunately for OG, it is just No-Tail dying on his own. You know, Sumail, he's no longer following around the IO. He's back to the farming business in the jungle. Alliance still holding on with a 1k lead, but it's an ever so close game.
Super close.
The closest we've had so far at the tournament.
Yeah, even 16 to 16. Sometimes we've had like where kills are even, but you see one team still has like a 5k advantage. No, they're both matching each other's aggressiveness. And mid one, he's set up again for S4 already.
Does he want to go for this on his own? Could be a little tricky. He does have that Diffusal. It's going to be spotted by the Sentry if he comes any closer. S4's going to see him. That might not necessarily save S4. He's got the Ghost Scepter. And now mid one, he's going to get turned upon. He's got the backup at Topson. The angle again there for the Shackle Shot onto the Necro Book. And in fact, S4, he's just getting crushed by the Rolling Thunder. The Rupture is there again. See if he can get out this time. He's trying for the Rupture of the TP. He's going to make it out.
He's going to make... Oh, he's dead. He's on base.
He didn't count... Did he not cancel the roll in base?
Is under attack.
I guess he just kept rolling.
I think he just kept...
I kept rolling because he did TP back to the fountain, and there's definitely at least a second where he kept rolling.
Well, he tried. You know, he did the heads-up play to try to get out.
He did,
and
but then he just didn't stop the rolling. Rolled straight to his grave, Thompson.
Good old Rupture versus Pango. Immediately the relocate bottom. OG trying to capitalize on that to get some tower damage. He will bring Sumail out. And they all are around mid. Alliance, though, also in position around here. Alliance does have everything at the ready to fight. OG still a little bit of time until that Rolling Thunder is going to be ready. And here we go.
Here we have the smoke. Limp's ready for the jump in. Who can they grab on the front? One would be a lovely one.
Top is probably more valuable because they can maybe get a tower out of it. Maybe get some wards behind the tower first and then look to see who you can catch. That'll probably be the case. They're going to throw the scan.
Saxa, he's going to have to do some crazy moves to get out of this one. He is on the retreat, but they find him in the trees. Limp's able to jump in, and Saxa will fall, and this will give them the opportunity to claim this tower. Alliance pushing in, taking objectives, but they're losing towers themselves. The mid tower will go down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Quick response. Instead of them actually addressing toward top, they make their own moves. Take mid and also bottom. Also getting set up on. TP's already though, Alliance. They want blood.
He's able to get the catch onto Notel. Notel's going to have to tether up in a second to get back over towards Sumail, and with that,
see you later, nerds.
The distance is created.
See you later, nerds.
They cannot.
See you later, nerds.
Well, I mean, Hansen's going to try and chase this with the rolling boulder, but OG are rather speedy on these two heroes. A second boulder does connect. We'll get the catch onto Notel. Sumail's able to escape, but they will find Notel at the same time. Up top, though, they're losing a core. S4. Played around with by Topson and mid one, who have no trouble dispatching of the Venomancer. How does it look to be? Top farm, and it's going to continue that way with this Battle Fury. He's just able to farm at a pace that even with the Maelstrom, the Bloodseeker can't. But maybe he's obviously got the kill potential, and a great setup there from Hansken will allow them to find mid one. The silence clipping him, leaving him no way to escape. And we'll see if that does sort of force mid one to think twice about his build. He has queued up the Nullifier, but we saw what Miracle early go for this, and it does leave you incredibly vulnerable if you go for the Diffusal into the Nullifier. You die very, very easily.
Yep, let's see. They have the they got the Blood Rage now on the Rosh, so it should be a little bit faster here with that increased damage. Power shots are starting to add up though with that slam.
Sonny Sacks are poking around the pit though. The rest of OG not seeming to be interested in contesting this. They'll just settle for damage onto the tier 2 top. Alliance have still got the fortification. They'll hold them off a little bit, and Alliance will be able to finish this without any further interruptions from OG. Aegis into the hands of Nico, baby. Get themselves back out on the map. Bounty runes up, relocating from Notel to secure that. Thompson with a bit of a poke onto Limp, but doesn't really want to go for too much more with the Halberd. Limp is an incredibly tanky beast as this Dragon Knight, not a kill that they can go for very nonchalantly. They need that. They need to have the full squad.
How do you feel about that blind relocate for the bounty? I like it.
I mean the way Notel's moving, that's how he likes to do. You know, he's no questions asked. He'll relocate where he wants to relocate.
They're partnered up top. Sumail. Hansken is looking for him. Gets the silence connecting as their follow-up. Not.
And then not quite close enough to jump in that deep.
Mid one is all the way down bottom. Big fight's gonna start up top here.
Limp's able to find Notel. Quick collapse onto the IO. Notel's gone. The rest of OG, what's the plan? Thompson going for the TP out. Shackle holds back Nico Baby and gives the time for Thompson to escape. It was a good job as well, because there was a long TP there for Thompson coming out to the tier 2 on the top lane rather than going back towards the base. Oh, this is going to be found. Limp. He's in. He gets the Dragon Tail stun to cancel the wind-up of the Rolling Thunder. Buying time for the sides to come in, but Thompson's quick with a swashbuckle. Creates the distance. It's not enough. Hansken diving in underneath the tower. The slow into the Blood Bright finishes him off. Alliance get another. Nico Baby now with the money to finish off this Mjolnir.
And Topson gets punished for his greed instead of TPing all the way back. TP's to the tier 2, not on the opposite side either. He's TP'd to the tier 2 right next to where the fight was still going on. And Alliance, yeah, heads up. They do get that one, and they are now going to progress it into another tower. Good sequence of moves for them there after that Roche. And they're gonna knock on high ground.
There we go. Tier 3's starting to take a beating. A lot of OG's got to come in with some sort of reaction. It's not going to be easy. Mid one jumping in straight into the midst of them. Still 10 seconds before Topson's back up. Another shackle connects, but there isn't any follow-up. Nico Baby just laying down the blood rights, making it very hard for OG to close in. Sumail's going to start running at them though. He's charging in straight away onto Lim. Ezreal pops the ult. The Roach as well onto Sumail. Mid-one just follow up the shackle shot on Nico Baby, trying to kill off this Bloodseeker, but he hasn't quite got the damage. Nico Baby will live. Jump forward with the Rolling Thunder. Topson finds the stun connection, goes to level it up onto Limp as well, as Nico Baby does attempt to finish off mid-one. Hasn't quite got the power to do so, but Sumail, he has been caught outside of the base. Alliance get the two of them and can resume pushing on. Nico Baby's low, but he has the lifesteal capability with the Blood Rage. He still has that Aegis. Another jump from Limp. The setup's there. Follow-up Blood Right. Alliance, they're onto the barracks, and they'll take this mid-set with no trouble whatsoever.
This time they can hold their ground with their 5. Much more confident when they do have that Aegis. It's that much tankier. And yeah, they got the perfect Soulbind too. Soulbind into double Rupture as soon as that fight's going on. OG, they're too aggressively chasing out of their base.
Steps towards his BKB. S4 Halberd done, so now that second Halberd in the lineup that's going to cause extra issues for both.
Oh, bottom.
To be made. Nico Baby turns with the Rupture, but the swipes, they're stacking up. Nico Baby cannot run away from the big old bear. Sumail gets the kill. TP's coming in. Alliance, they still want to try and fight this. They know that Sumail, he hasn't got the ult. There'll be a buyback from mid-one as this fight kicks off again. A shackle shot onto the 2. Topson being focused. He is healing up, but is it enough? He gets the shield crash. He's back up to full HP.
Oh my God.
Topson's going to be fine. S4 puts the up with Saxa. Again, it's another 2-man shackle shot. They're just these shackles back to back there. The 2 hero shackle shots making it impossible for Alliance to they bought back. I mean, to be fair, Bo3 did. Mid-one also bought back. But that's a Nico Baby buyback, and Nico Baby wasn't even able to get anywhere near the action off the back of it.
He was completely split off from his team, and OG, they took advantage. They saw the moment of opportunity for them to kind of swing this one back and bring them and have them a chance is getting him when he's bottom alone. Everyone else was nowhere near, and Topson holding his greaves, waiting for the IO to get the tether. You see, full
I can't believe he didn't die. He did. It looked like he was. I mean, he just has so much to stand. You're right, between him and No Tail.
And the Essence Ring too. It's like all those things put together. He just pumped himself all the way up to full. And I think I want to say that No Tail probably had like a 20-stick charge too, because he literally went from like 10% to 100%.
He did. It was as if the outpost had gained some sort of magical healing capabilities. It was just sat there and back up to full HP.
Yeah, shrines are back.
And there we go. Satanic. It's done on Sumail. Maelstrom also complete for Topson, so no longer just a nightmare in terms of trying to kill. He hurts, especially playing around with the Mindbreaker if he wants to switch that in. And an excellent neutral item to use with the Pango, getting that benefit on the Swashbuckle.
Yep.
Still though, the gold is so close, and Alliance, they're holding on. It's right within this 1k difference. Nico Baby is still building up in mass, both him and Limp. Excellent farm, but it's just the fact that once again, like in game 1, Sumail, he's just there, and he's just so far ahead of anyone else. Game 1, it paid off, having everything invested into this Sumail super carry, and it's looking like it could work out again here for OG, having Sumail as big as he is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just super close to this game. Experience. Yeah, actually, that last fight jumped OG quite ahead of Experience, but yeah, it's really going to be up to how much can they actually control this Ursa now with SNY and Satanic. I think it's going to be pretty hard. Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard. definitely a bit concerned here for Alliance in the next actual fights, unless they can get these chain lockdowns, unless they can get the rupture on the proper targets.
And they're pushing in bottom, Alliance. Looking to take this tier 2 down. I mean, after they have already lost that tier 2 up top to OG. Let's see if they can get this. OG watch their play.
You get like PTSD almost, right, as Alliance. Look at how they're all just like grouped together. They know if you're going to split up, the times that they've died and lost a lot of their, like, not their big advantage or anything, but their actual advantage is when they have just started splitting up and not focusing and being like, oh yeah, we're playing versus relocate.
I mean, they've got to do something about this up top. Sumail, he was pushing it onto the tier 3 towers. Hanscam rolls forward, extra TP backup coming in. In fact, the entirety of Alliance, they'll return for this. OG able to push them back to the base with that high ground poke from Sumail and NoTail.
Okay, S4 is going back for the book 3 after his Ghost Scepter and his Halberd. He's going to finish that one up. Good book. I thought he was going to maybe do it as a rush because he was versus the Riki, and it's a really solid item versus Riki always, but now he's going to go back for it anyway. Going to be good for them to control the map.
Full Solar Crest on Saxa, so additional way to really make Sumail's game that little bit easier.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Sumail making good progress towards the Basher into Abyssal. They're going to need everything to control this spare. Nico Baby just building defensively, getting the BKB done as well, feeling the necessity to have that as well as the Manta. You know, you can't blame him with the way that both Thompson and Saxa, these two heroes, just control the team fight so well between the Rolling Thunders and the Shackle Shots.
Oh, this is going to be it. OG, they've gained a lot of damage potential in their last few moments. Like you said, the Maelstrom, as well as everything on that Ursa, but also they have the Nullifier on the Riki.
I mean, OG, they're going in the wrong direction with this smoke. They're not going to catch anyone. Both teams just sort of avoiding one another with this maneuver.
Oh, NoTail's on the low ground here. It's walking up into them.
They get the jump. So now OG, they know what's up. They will lose NoTail. There's no saving that IO. Hansken's going to try and chase on, but the rest of OG, they're here, and they collapse and kill Hansken immediately. Ruptures out onto Sumail. Sumail holding his ground. He's got the backup of Thompson. Rolls forward, starts to push S4 into the pit. He's ready to jump across, starts to bounce into Limp as well. In fact, he's TPing out. I was going to say he's cancelled the TP. He was trying to TP there for some sort of a reason to jump in with the Shackle Shot. Doesn't connect this time. He's getting from Limp. Turns over on towards mid 1. S4 gets the ult out, but Thompson, he's still full HP. He's just so tanky with this build on the Pangolier. Blood right in place. Mid 1, can he jump his way out of it? He cannot. The stun's out. They catch Mid 1. Mid 1's bursted out of the game. Dead for 95. OG, they're struggling here. Thompson and Sumail are trying to jump forward. It's another dead Thompson managing to find the kill with the swashbuckle, and he's still not quite dead yet. The blood right silence does catch him. They're trying to finish him off, but they can't. The power shot from Saxa, it catches Nico Baby. Thompson turns another pop of the Essence Ring. They just committed everything to try and kill this Pango, but they couldn't kill him, and it's cost them every single one of their own lives. Alliance get team wiped by OG. They couldn't kill the Pango.
Oh my god. He's just using that shield crash to its absolute maximum, and then Sumail just wailing on everybody inside of the whole fight. He has a Satanic and SNY. You can't ignore this Ursa. They got him low. He full heals up.
Yeah.
Able to continuously chase. And you could see Nico Baby. He was trying to dance around the fights because he has this increased movement speed from everyone being low, but as soon as he gets held in his track for a second, this Ursa rips him apart.
I mean, I think the problem for Alliance is just who do you go on? You know,
Yeah,
you sort of, sure, you can delete NoTail. You can have a pretty good shot of killing the mid 1 Riki, the Saxon Wind Ranger, but at the same time, they're pretty slippery. But when it comes to trying to kill Sumail and Thompson, they're just so tanky. They are going to get the chance to pop all their spells, to pop all their active items. You're not going to be able to 100-0 these heroes.
Yeah, I was mentioning how, like, OG, they just are starting to pick up a lot of these big damage and everything. Alliance, I don't feel like they're gaining damage, really, with their draft at all. I feel like they're gaining a little bit of sustain here and there. Nico Baby, when he's going to have the BKB, same thing, but the damage is starting to feel like a big issue. They're not able to pierce through these two.
Now, having to go for all these halberds, these BKBs, Mantis, as you said, you know, the only damage item they really have among them is the Mjolnir on the Bloodseeker, and that is just not enough at this moment in time.
Yeah, your Venom, your Poison Nova plus your Magnetize and everything, ticking them down slowly isn't enough right now because they just sustain right through it, heal back up, and then your Bloodseeker doesn't even have any thirst stacks very quickly throughout the fight. DD bottom, Sumail will get it. OG, they're looking.
Sumail, he's running straight in. He has the full Abyssal. If he's able to close the gap, that Abyssal Stun's going to come down hard straight away onto S4. The Shackle again. Saxa, he catches both of them, both S4 and Limp. Limp pops the BKB. He's trying to run. Sumail's going to be hot in the chase. Thompson coming in as well. Limp will be able to get the blink off. He will live, but they're just having to run away from OG every single time now. Sumail's farm, it's just, it's on another planet. He's so far ahead. And this, it really does seem that today OG's shown how they want to play the game of Dota. And they're doing it, again, OG style, these drafts, something that I don't think any other team would be able to execute. But the way they play, the way they secure Sumail's game, it gets to this point where the other team, they just do not have an answer to an Ursa with this amount of farm.
God, look at this attack speed with all the buffs thrown on him too. And look at him just holding his high ground with all this status resist.
What do you do? There's 4 heroes alive. They can't go on him. It's just sitting there hitting his racks. You know, this is not the traditional racks taker. You know, this hero. That's Shackle. It's another Shackle. It's another Shackle onto the 2 of them. Limp and Nico Baby are caught. They put the BKB. They do turn the Soulbind leashes there, but this hurts us. Sumail, he's just going in. The jump forward. Sumail has to turn now. The Magnetize. It is hitting them all, but it's just not enough damage. OG don't care. They fight on through the debuff. It's not tickling them at all. They're just all sitting there. Sumail still pretty much at full HP, despite taking a Magnetize and a poison over to the face. It doesn't matter. OG just back off. They heal up. They got the racks. They got what they came for. They're going to be able to go for round 2 if Alliance want to give it to them.
Just, yeah, far too much sustain, and that was everything for Alliance. They used all their everything. Like even Dragon Form, Poison Nova, Rupture, Soulbind, everything was expended there, and they couldn't even push OG back. OG is full HP, and they're back knocking on the doors, and they have no ultimates that they really have to wait for. Rolling Thunder, only 30 seconds now. And a lot of items going to be delivered coming out here. The Aghanims now for that Pango. He's already been causing havoc, throwing some constant disarms flowing through them. And I don't know what you can really do to fix that. They just have to hope OG overextends a couple times for them to be able to get the gold, to be able to get those items. But OG, they're holding themselves firmly at this line.
There we go. Rolling Thunder not going to be committed yet. Just showing. I mean, Sumail, he's walking up. He's hitting this tower. They need to do something. Limp's going to try and jump in onto Nota. This is the one hero they can kill. They will manage to find him. Sumail turns attention over towards Nico Baby. The first tower used onto Sumail. He jumps over with the Abyssal Blade. They're holding Nico Baby in place. Nico Baby will be able to put the BKB and get out of there. He has to run. Once again, just poking out these BKBs, these Elder Dragon forms. Sure, they lose the IO, but it's how much Alliance are having to commit to get that, and then not being able to find anything else off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, they even threw the Rupture on Thompson, and they were maybe hoping that they could chase because he wasn't going to be able to do a Rolling Thunder, but no. They're way too intimidated at this moment, and like you said, Nico Baby has to use a defensive BKB just to book it out of there. Now trapped in their base, unable to get that farm that they really desperately need to be able to actually do the damage in these fights.
That's Sumail with a full MKB.
Oof.
I mean, it really is all coming together for OG here in this series. Top, Handscan.
Once again, Sox is stalking him.
And no, Sumail's running straight in his direction. See if he's able to get in close enough for the Abyssal with that remainder of the haste rune. It's not quite fast enough to pull down on the boulder low enough for Handscan to escape.
Oh, he took the +3 over tower attacks. Okay. He switched it up a little bit from the talents that Matumba Man went for. Matu went for the 2 right ones, and then the Fury swipes, and then the Earth Shock on his Ursa both times. Relocate bottom to push the wave out. Don't let Alliance get those creep waves out too far. Trapped inside the base. And they do not want to go on Sumail. It's way too scary.
No. Mid. They get the job onto Thompson. Can they kill it? They're going to throw everything onto him here. Sax is able to get the Shackle again. He always catches 2 heroes. He always catches them. Midborn will go down. Thompson's been able to heal himself back up to full HP. He's rolling in with the Rolling Thunder. Over he goes towards Nico Baby. Nico Baby has to run. Will be able to pop the Manta and get out of there. Thompson still chasing him hot under the collar. He's got it. Another bounce with the Rolling Thunder. He's playing with Nico Baby. Comes in with the jump. He's killed him off. The Bloodseeker's dead. An instant buyback comes into play for Nico Baby. Another Shackle from Saxa connecting Hansken and Lim. Sumail cleans up the Earth Spirit. He's full HP. Nico Baby's running in.
Oh my.
He fought back for this. He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Backs off towards the side. The relocate from No-Tail, taking them back to base, getting a little bit of a reset. I mean, even on the way back, they know that Alliance is not going to try and fight into this. This is risky territory with that buyback from Nico Baby now. He dies, the game's over.
Yeah, and we didn't actually point this one out too, is the IO, No-Tail, he's been pretty quiet because his net worth's been all the way at the bottom, but he actually got the Shaco. One of the best items you can get on an IO in the later stages on top of this Lotus Orb. Now it's a 3,000 health IO sitting behind Sumail in most instances. He is no joke either.
No,
There's so much, they're so tanky. They're just so damn tanky. And now Rolling Thunder, of course, he's been 25 for a couple moments. Only a 42-second cooldown. He has an Arcane Rune thrown on top. Probably 2 Rolling Thunders in the next fight. And they're looking to keep pressing this advantage. Keep using that relocate to push the lanes in.
Alliance, they are stepping out of the base. But what do they do? Where do they make the move? Their options seemingly incredibly limited right now. As the smoke comes from OG, they're ready to pounce. They head straight towards the mid. Sears able to get the initiation. Sumail looking for the lead, and he's found Lim. Jump forward with a nullify the silence Lim. He's just getting torn apart past the BKB. Turns around the Dragon Tail stun. He will live for now, but Sumail's chasing. The blinks out in time. Limp will survive. Nico Baby has to put the BKB to get himself away from Thompson's Rolling Thunder. Thompson able to get inside of the base. Catches out S4. S4 is dead and gone. Has got a buyback available. Sumail, he's starting to run towards the tier 4s. He's diving past the ancient. They're going up towards the fountain. The nullifier removes the Ghost Scepter. They kill off FNG. A buyback there from S4. They turn with the Dragon Tail stun onto Sumail. Bloodbright will catch the 2 of them with the silence. They run down No-Tail. No-Tail will go down. Thompson with the Rolling Thunder back and ready to go once again. He'll turn, starts to play around with him. Jump forward from Lim with the Dragon Tail. He's found Sumail. Rolling Thunder still going as Nico Baby. He's just getting locked in position. The Swashbuckler finishes him off. Nico Baby's dead for 2 minutes as Sumail, he's ready to clean up even more. Godlike on the Ursa. No buyback for Nico Baby. No buyback for FNG. The nullifier removes any safety that S4 had. Over they go, just playing, beating them down behind tier 4s. OG they're just destroying them. They're just destroying them. They're playing with their food. They're not even thinking about objectives. They're only thinking about the murder.
I look at the net worth. That looks like an alchemist right up there. 32,000, almost 500 last hits.
That's incredible.
Just
both games, Sumail. His farm has been obviously in terms of the play. It really has been a team effort. You know, OG just back in style. But there's so many things you can talk about from the individual performances. There is the GG. OG have done it here, 2-0 against Alliance. This game too, looking incredibly dominating. Yes, Sumail's farm. Saxa, I don't think I've seen a single series ever in my career where a Wind Ranger has hit that many 2-hero shackle shots. No. Yep.